Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about the distribution and go-to-market strategy of HubSpot, one of the most fascinating growth stories that I have come across. And so HubSpot was a CRM business that was able to scale from almost nothing to over $100 million in revenue in only a couple of years. The founders of HubSpot, Brian and Dharmesh, met at MIT when they were both studying. And they found that they had similar interests and were both passionate about how to grow businesses and how to use technology to aid this. And they noticed a shift that was going on in the market, and that was that the way people buy today has completely changed. Instead of being reactive to these touch points of ads and getting reached out to, people are getting better and better at just ignoring these things. And what they realized is there had to be a new way to reach these customers. There was a problem and there was an opportunity, and they were passionate about how they could solve this problem and help businesses grow. They didn't want to just build a business and flip it. They wanted to make sure that they built something special, something that they would be proud of for years to come, and this was a huge advantage that they highlighted in the early days. They stated that they could make long-term bets. They could make bets that their competition was not able to make. This is also something that you see Jeff Bezos talking about again and again in his shareholder letters, the ability to think long-term as a huge advantage. They were quoted as saying, "To build a great company, you need to succeed with an excellent customer experience today. That is the way you stand out. You can't just have a great product. You cannot just bombard people. You need to make sure that your customer experience is amazing, that you have a customer obsession, and that everyone at your company cares about delivering for your customers." So now let me explain to you how they got to their customers at HubSpot and how this whole distribution strategy worked. And so everything at HubSpot was centered around inbound selling. Outbound selling is where you reach out to your customers. Inbound selling, rather, is where your customers reach out to you. They find out about you. I'm sure you have all experienced this on the internet today. You find products you like, blogs you like, services you liked, and you reach out because of the value they show you first. And HubSpot mastered this in many ways. Their first and most successful content engine was their website grader that they created. So they were actually able to create a tool for users to enter their website URL on and get feedback on the performance, the SEO, and various other factors so that you could decide, do you have a good website? What do you need to improve? How can you make your user experience better? This ended up providing value upfront for the customers and created a ton of demand for HubSpot's products down the line. Tools like this can be an amazing win-win for businesses because it provides the value upfront for the customer, and then the customer can make the buying decision after they've already received value and been shown the expertise of the company. Secondly, HubSpot was able to excel at understanding on-site user behavior. HubSpot specialized in understanding what users of your website were doing and helping you to make decisions and to push the correct information to your customer at the right point in their journey on your website, or the customer journey as many like to refer to it. And so if someone was on a certain service page on your website, they would then be pushed a relevant piece of content, an ebook or a blog post related to that service. Just as a professional in a store would give you the type of information you're looking for when you're looking at a certain product, they help people do this on their online shopping experience as well. And this was a huge business engine for them. Also, webinars were a huge hit for HubSpot in their early days. And so a webinar is when you host an online video lecture and you provide value to those who are interested. And one of the first ones that they did was actually on how to monetize Twitter and Twitter ads. And so they believe they were one of the very first to do this. They actually used Twitter as the communication tool during the webinar. They believe they were the first to do this as well. Maybe there's a theme there, trying things early that works well. And they were able to get 3,000 subscribers to this webinar. Then you have 3,000 people that you get a chance to make an impression on, to provide value to, and then potentially turn them into inbound leads to help grow your business. But the most impactful part of HubSpot's strategy was actually their blog posts. And their blog posts cover a huge array of information. If you search HubSpot's blog for landing page, for instance, you get around 4,000 results. 4,000 results just for landing page. They have tens of thousands of blog posts on any type of topic related to business, sales, marketing. And so they are providing this value up front and then proving to the customers that they are a knowledgeable party who can help them in their journey to grow their business. At which point they can subscribe and get online with HubSpot Sales Hub or their Marketing Hub and get all of these proven tools that they've already read about through this content. And there's more to this blog strategy than just quantity. They also made sure that they had a specific call to action on every single blog post. Every single one had a call to action at the end to sign up or try their services. And this was able to triple the amount of leads that they started getting from their blog. So don't forget your calls to action, and maybe try to think outside of the box about how you can produce valuable content like HubSpot has done through their blog. But the true key to the HubSpot content growth engine was how they sourced this content. I mean, how do you write over 4,000 blog posts on landing pages? Don't you think your marketing team would get a little bored of landing pages? Well, HubSpot didn't just leave this to the marketing teams. Content and presenting yourself in the right way is everyone's responsibility. And many professionals, especially everyone in the business development function, was required to brand themselves and create content that proved that they were a professional and a thought leader in their field. They had to write about everything related to the sales experience. They had to write about landing pages, about marketing. They had to write about all the fundamentals. And so this allowed them to produce 4,000 plus articles on landing pages. This allowed them to produce that quantity, and you see through this, some of these articles then rise above the rest. And through SEO and the calls to action, they were able to create one of the most successful content marketing campaigns in history. I mean, $0 to $100 million in revenue in 2 years, driven through an insane content engine. Think about that. And I just want to iterate the importance of value-driven content today. There's a lot of stuff on the internet, and HubSpot was able to provide that value up front. Many times in my own journey, I've had different questions about marketing, site optimization, retargeting, and many times the value comes from a HubSpot article. So think about your customer, think about how you can provide them that type of value, and think about how you can find creative ways to scale and do this. Because everybody wants a 0 to 100 million journey. And just, one last fact to end on is inbound has about 3 times the conversion rate of outbound. So you'll have a lot less work for your sales team and a lot more activity and growth for your company. And so thank you so much for tuning in to this show on HubSpot's distribution strategy. And I look forward to talking you through a lot more and learning with you as we go through this process to understand how to scale businesses and create the future. Thank you.